Welcome everyone, where today we are at Selhurst Park for this midday kick-off between Palace and Manchester United in a Premier League encounter loaded with tension, and on paper at least it's one of the more intriguing fixtures of matchday 13. Crystal Palace arrive sitting 6th in the Premier League with a solid return of 20 points from 12 games. Manchester United are down in 12th place on 18 points after yesterday's fixtures. For Palace, the season has been their best start in years. They're stable, confident and dangerous, especially at home, and this despite losing some key players at the start of the season. Midweek in Europe, they lost the Conference League tie away to Strasbourg, ending a 5-match unbeaten run in all competitions, while last weekend they had a 2-0 away win against Wolves. For United, recent whispers of a revival were brutally squashed last weekend, where they lost poorly to Everton, who had to play with 10 men for most of the game. United's attack lacks cutting edge, and the continued absence of Cunha and Šeško today through injury will not help. Team news and Palace boss Oliver Glasner makes 3 changes to the side beaten by Strasbourg in the Conference League on Thursday. Kamada, Wharton and Richards all come in, with Canvot, Hughes and Jefferson Lerma dropping out. Palace have an impressive recent record against today's opponents and are looking for their 4th win in 5 meetings. For United, Ruben Amorim makes 2 changes from the team beaten at home by 10-man Everton on Monday. Both his wing-backs drop out, with Mason Mount and Diego Dalot coming in for Mazraoui and Dorgu, with Ahmad dropping into the right wing-back slot and Mount taking a number 10 role alongside Brian Mbeumo. Amorim keeps faith with Zirkzee as his number 9, while England under-20 international Shea Lacey keeps his place on the bench. And so kick-off, we're underway at Selhurst Park, and immediately you can feel the edge in the air. This place is always tight, always noisy, always hostile, especially for Manchester United, who haven't won here in over 5 years. The sun is surprisingly bright in London, the pitch bouncing with light after yesterday's downpour, but the energy is tense. United need a reaction after the Everton disaster. Palace want to extend their unbeaten home run, it's said perfectly. And almost instantly there's chaos. A long throw is hurled into the Palace box. Ligt rises. He flicks it on. It drops amongst a group of players. It could go anywhere. Casemiro lunges, but the ball pops out. Mbeumo hooks it back in, and a big save. Dean Henderson drops on the ball gratefully before Casemiro can execute a close-range finish. That was a real case of ping-pong. Players were just reacting instinctively, and lucky for Palace, they survive. We get a replay. Casemiro was far too close to Henderson to just blast it. If he lifts it delicately, it's 1-0. Palace have 6 clean sheets from 12 league matches, and you can already see why. United come again with another dangerous high ball. Henderson punches strongly, clearing bodies in front of him. The Palace keeper looks sharp and aggressive. Palace, though, can attack too. A long pass sends Mateta hurtling down the left. He leaves Ligt for dead and powers into the box, shapes to shoot, but it's just wide. He drives it across goal, but slices it past the far post. The home crowd roars. United breathe out hard. 10 minutes gone and Casemiro wins the midfield duel and earns a free kick 35 yards out. Bruno Fernandes stands over it, whips a beautiful delivery into the mixer. Casemiro rises again, he beats Guehi, but glances the header wide. That's another half chance gone missing. United are having chances, but Palace are in this game too. A long throw from Chris Richards drops perfectly for Adam Wharton. He strikes a pile driver from the edge of the box, sweet as you like, but straight at Lammens. If he hits that slightly, it probably finds a corner. Palace have come alive now, and challenges are beginning to fly in everywhere. Every 50-50, though, goes the Eagles' way. United look hesitant, while Palace look hungry. They have the ball now at the back. Henderson kicks it long towards Mateta. Ligt wins the header, but it strikes the retreating Yoro and into the path of Mateta, who takes it to the edge of the penalty area, with Yoro biting at his heels. The striker shapes to shoot low with his right foot, just wide. He drags it low past the left post, with Lammens watching helplessly. That was poor play by Ligt and Yoro. United's centre-backs are struggling physically. Every time Mateta leans into them, they're shifting backwards. The pressure seems to be affecting United's discipline as well because moments later, Mbeumo slams the ball into the turf in frustration and is rightly booked. Palace have a corner now. The United defence will be dreading this. In it comes. Lacroix rises above everyone, but powers his header well over. Another warning sign for United as we reach the 20-minute mark. The pattern of the game is becoming clear. Palace are winning every duel. United are losing every duel. United can't hold the ball up. Palace smell weakness. The shadow of what affected United in the Everton game last Monday is very much hanging over the Red Devils again so far today. Now Palace come again, a fast counter. They will need to make this pressure count sooner rather than later. Wharton drives centrally, lays it wide to Sarr, who tees up Kamada inside the box. It's saved! Lammens gets down well to push it away. United are on the proverbial ropes now. It's not long before Palace come again. It's relentless now. The Eagles send in a teasing cross, which Lammens claws away, but it drops for Pino, who sets himself, waits for the ball to drop perfectly, then hits it sweetly. With Lammens recovering, the goal is almost gaping, but Yoro gets across to make an important intervention. That was great defending from the Frenchman. United simply cannot hold possession long enough to relieve pressure. Zirkzee is dropping deep, but keeps getting caught. Mbeumo miscontrols repeatedly. Mason is dropping deeper and deeper, trying to help, but Palace keeps slicing through midfield. Wharton and Kamada are dominating everything. Bruno and Casemiro are chasing shadows. We've passed the 30-minute mark. Mitchell out on the left wing plays it square to Guehi, who passes to Wharton. The talented young Englishman takes it on the turn and picks the perfect pass, treading Mateta true on the left side of the box. Yoro's on the wrong side. He lunges in, too eagerly and too late. He clips Mateta, who goes down, howls for a penalty from the home support. Referee Rob Jones agrees, pointing immediately to the spot. Penalty for Palace, and no complaints from United. That was awkward, to say the least, from Yoro. Mateta will take the penalty himself. He takes a breath. Here he comes. He strikes and scores! Goal! Placing the ball almost casually into the left corner as Lammens goes the other way. Mateta wheels away to accept the acclaim of the home fans. Palace needed that. They had been so much on top that they needed to have something to show for all their domination. But wait, hang on. We're hearing there's going to be a VAR check. Eventually, the referee comes to speak to the crowd. He's ordering a retake of the spot kick. Replays show that it was a double touch from Mateta. He slipped slightly as he was taking the shot, and the ball clipped his standing foot. Unbelievable. Selhurst Park howls in torment. The fans are going to have to endure the tension once more. So Mateta steps up again. Here he comes now. Opposite corner this time, but the same result. Goal! Palace 1, United 0. Lammens chooses wrong again, and I can confirm that this one will stand. Selhurst Park erupts. United trudge back to the halfway line. Their body language is awful. Heads down, arms spread in frustration. They look beaten. They lack real leaders. Sarr, who has been limping ever since that early awkward landing, collapses again and signals he has to come off. Nketiah replaces him. That will bring a shift in dynamic. Nketiah's pace is direct, sharp, aggressive. United look terrified every time Palace run at them. Shaw has to make a huge block to deny Pino. Then Ligt slips horribly, gifting Nketiah a free run. Shaw throws himself in front of the shot and saves United again. Nketiah should have done better there. He delays and delays, which allows Luke Shaw the opportunity to make the challenge. United now are crying out for the half-time whistle. The pressure is relentless. United scrape forward once or twice. Bruno hits a bouncing shot miles wide. Henderson still hasn't had a meaningful save to make since the opening minute. When the half-time whistle finally comes, Palace leave the pitch, applauded by all four stands. United trudge off, battered, bruised, and incredibly fortunate to trail by only 1. Half-time, it's Palace 1, United 0. Palace have outplayed, outrun, outmuscled, and outthought United. It could be 3-0, maybe 4-0. United's only luck is the scoreline. Wharton has been running the show. Kamada has been everywhere. Mateta is bullying defenders for fun. Palace's structure is immaculate. United's shape is in pieces. Amran needs the team talk of his career. How many times have we said that? If United don't improve, this could turn nasty. Second half and we're off again. No changes from United. Maybe Amram is trying to show fate, or maybe there simply aren't enough match-changing players on his bench. United start with a small spark though. Ahmad suddenly finds space on the right. He cuts inside. He shoots into the side netting. Wrong decision, but at least a decision. United now come again. Whatever was in the half-time tea has woken them up a bit. Casemiro connects with a cutback. His shot is on target. A daisy cutter, but easy for Henderson. Palace's keeper now wears a cap, shielding his eyes from the blinding sun. Palace remain stubborn, composed, dangerous. They are up to 4th in the Premier League as it stands. FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners, League Cup quarter-finalists, in Europe, going well in the Premier League. Heady days indeed for the Eagles. 53 minutes gone, United now have a free kick out on the left wing, halfway inside the Palace half. Bruno clips it down the left side of the penalty area, finding Zirkzee's run. This looks like a rehearsed move. The ball bounces and Zirkzee controls it on his chest, but he's made the angle very tight for himself. From the corner of the 6-yard box, he swings his left foot at it, and it squeezes in! Goal! Zirkzee, out of nothing, has equalised for United. I can't believe it. To quote the great late Jimmy Greaves, football is a funny old game. That goal should not happen. There were Palace defenders between Zirkzee and the goal, and Henderson was covering the near post. The keeper looked like he had it covered, but somehow the ball sneaks under his arm and inside the far post. That must go down as a mistake by Henderson. United's first meaningful attack of the half, and it's a goal. Out of absolutely nowhere, Zirkzee wheels away in disbelief. It's his first Premier League goal in a year. Selhurst Park is stunned into silence. Amran then turns instantly to his bench. Yoro is off, Mazraoui on. The young French central defender has looked shaken from the opening minutes. And then Zirkzee almost scores again, but this time, bizarrely, at his own end. A Palace cross is flicked backwards, the ball bounces off Zirkzee and rolls inches wide of Lammens' post. Heart-and-mouth stuff. Just past the hour mark now. The game is wobbling. Momentum is shifting. Palace, once dominant, now look unsure. Suddenly, it could go either way. Suddenly, it's United looking dangerous. They have a free kick a few yards from the angle of the left side of the penalty area. Bruno stands over it. Palace form their wall. Bruno touches it sideways. Mount steps onto it, drills it low. Goal! Oh, that one has gone in as well. What has happened to Palace's defending? Mason Mount, through the wall and inside the near post. Once Bruno shifted the ball, the players in the wall broke forward and thus created the space for Mount to shoot through. Very poor discipline from the Palace players. Schoolboy stuff, really. Once the shot is past the wall, Dean Henderson is late reacting. Could he have done better? To quote another legend, Jar Jar Binks, me think so. Palace will have an internal investigation over what has gone wrong in this second half, but United won't care. They've done it. They've come from behind to lead this game. United fans erupt in the corner, relief as much as anything. Selhurst Park suddenly feels small, tight, nervous. Oliver Glasner is furious, and rightly so, absolutely furious. He gestures wildly at his defenders. His team have gone from dominating United to collapsing in 10 minutes. Palace's wall was a mess there. The keeper was slow. The whole sequence sloppy, and don't get me started on the first one they conceded. United, barely in this game for most of the afternoon, are suddenly winning it. Palace's fans fall quiet. Groans ripple around Selhurst. Their 12-match unbeaten home run is suddenly under threat. United somehow look calmer. Bruno now is seeing a lot more of the ball. pulling the strings. Mount is finding pockets of space that didn't exist in the first half. Mazraoui brings composure on the ball. Palace seem deflated and don't have a pump. They try to respond. Nketiah rises above Shaw, but heads well wide. Palace fans must feel his transfer from Arsenal has not lived up to expectations. Guehi grows frustrated and hacks down Mazraoui. He's booked. Palace's composure is another thing that is fading fast. United now look the more dangerous side. Dalot hits a long-range shot over. Mbeumo curls one easily at Henderson. Palace are not generating any momentum. They do make changes though, Hughes on and Uche on, but the spark of the first half is gone. Wharton is quieter, Pino has faded, Mateta, once a monster, is being handed better by Ligt now. United fans take over the stadium. Every tackle is cheered like a goal. United players suddenly look like they believe in themselves again. Then comes a huge moment emotionally. Lisandro Martinez returns after 301 days out, coming on for Luke Shaw. United fans rise to their feet. You can feel what that means. Palace push desperately for an equaliser, but they just don't look like scoring. Mbeumo for United cuts in and whips one narrowly wide. For Palace, a few half-hearted crosses which float into Lammens' gloves. Palace's attack suddenly feels blunt. United are defending like a team with something real to protect. Compact, together, emotional. But Palace's lethargy is making it easy on them. Are Palace's midweek European exploits suddenly catching up on them? Have they hit the wall? There will be 5 added minutes. Palace need one moment though, one pass, one cross, one mistake. Now, Hughes is tripped, free kick just outside the box. Last chance. Selhurst Park holds its breath. Hughes stands over it. He curls it, blocked, cleared, and that's it. The whistle goes, full time. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2. What a turnaround. Palace were magnificent in the first half. Sharper, stronger, faster, braver. They bullied United, dominated midfield, carved chance after chance. It could have been and should have been 2-0, even 3-0. Mateta's penalty, taken twice, was fully deserved. But games are not won on dominance, they're won on moments. United, credit to them, produced them in the second half. Zirkzee, who had done almost nothing, conjured a stunning improvised finish from almost the byline. Mount, out of nowhere, drilled a clever free kick under a poor wall, and United held on with grit and desperation. Bruno Fernandes delivered 2 assists, Mount and Zirkzee delivered 2 clinical finishes. Mazraoui and Martinez stabilised the team when they came on, and defensively United found just enough backbone to survive. For Palace, it's heartbreak. Their 12-game unbeaten home run ends. Their dominance counts for nothing. They paid for ruthlessness at one end and lapses at the other. For United, this was needed. No one should be getting carried away, though. Their fans have had too many false dawns recently to have the courage to give this one too much emotional input. Instead, they will wait to see what kind of performance United put on display this Thursday evening at Old Trafford against West Ham. It has been a season of Jekyll and Hyde proportions, enough to drive even the most ardent United fan crazy. The first comeback victory in months, a moment of belief forged in adversity. United weren't good, but they were clinical, and sometimes that's enough. Final score, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2.